guys, welcome back to Math with Miss L. Today we're going to make sure that we are focused on lesson 4 and 5. We're going to combine the two, and we are talking about finding area with perimeter. And in this lesson, it might be area and perimeter mixed together. We will take a dive in and take a look. If you are doing our scavenger hunt or escape room, have fun with it, and let's get going. So for this example, we are talking about a rug. How fun. It's a rectangular rug, which is important. The width, it says, is 5, and we'll go ahead and say 5 centimeters. We have some information about the length. It says the length is twice as long as the width. So we're going to make sure we touch base and see what twice means, twice as long. Our question is, what is the perimeter and the area? So we have a double. We have a long question to answer, is what I'm saying. So here we go. The first thing Miss L or Miss LaFuente would do is I would try to figure out what my length is for my rug. So it says the length, I'm going to underline length because that's what we're searching for. So the length is twice as long as the width. So if I know my width is 5, hopefully when you see the word twice as long, you are thinking about multiplying by 2. We have talked about that in class. Hopefully this is a review. So if I'm doing twice as long, I'm going to take my 5 and I'm going to multiply it by my 2. And my length, hopefully we know, is 10. So if my length is over here, 10 centimeters, I know my length on the opposite side of a rectangle, our equal, is also 10 centimeters. And don't forget, your width is also the same. So that would be 5 centimeters right there. So moving forward, the next thing that we're going to do is take a look and solve. Let's go with our perimeter first. So I'm going to take my handy dandy reference chart and find the perimeter. So the formula for perimeter for a rectangle says that, let's do it up here. Perimeter equals length plus width plus length plus width. It's a W if you cannot see that. Feel free to pause it right now and find your perimeter and check back in with me. If you would like to continue, let's go ahead and go for it. So if I'm going to plug in one of my lengths, my length is 10. I know my perimeter, or my width is 5. And I'm just going to plug those numbers in based on the letter it stands for. So I can do 10 plus 5, I know is 15, plus another 10 plus 5, I know is 15. So if you need to put these vertically on top of each other, 15 plus 15, we have 30 centimeters. And notice that Miss LaFuente keeps her variable with her. So if I'm searching for the P, which is perimeter, I'm going to make sure I keep it with me. So like I said, if you are confused a little bit, go ahead and rewind and try this one again. That's how we find our perimeter. Our area, let's start with our formula because we have every single dimension. We have our length and we have our width. So let's check out our area formula. Area for a rectangle is length times width. So let's plug in. We don't know our area, so that's going to stay the same. Our L stands for our long side, which is our length, which is 10. Please make sure you know that your length is 10, whatever you have to do to make sure you remember. And then multiply it by your width, which is 5. And these are each centimeters. Let's not forget our units. So 10 times 5, hopefully we know 10 times 5 is 50. And our centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared or squared centimeters, whichever one helps you. So that is how we find area and perimeter. Let's go ahead and I'm going to erase this and we're going to do one more problem and we will be right back. Maybe. Yes, we will. All right, guys, back with question number 2. And this is going to be our last one. This is going to be our little exit ticket for today. It says the perimeter is 24 inches. It says what is the length and what is the area. And it gives us some information. It tells us that this rectangle, first off, is 5 inches. So I like to say our shorter side is our width and our long side is our length. So I'm going to label this as length, and we don't know what it is yet. So I'm putting a question mark there. You could put a question mark on this side as well because there are two lengths. We know they will be even because they are in a rectangle and opposite sides are equal. So our width is 5 inches here, which means our width as well in a rectangle is the same size. So it wants us to know the length, and all they give us is our perimeter. So hopefully you saw lesson 2, which is finding the missing side. So that means let's do our strip diagram to get a better look. If we know our entire total of our perimeter is 24 inches, let's make sure that we go ahead and mark that down. So our total perimeter is 24 inches, so we have it marked down. Now we know that we have our widths. So I'm going to write width 1. Remember, we like to put our width 1 is 5 inches. And then our second width is the same length. And then our length 1 is we don't know. And our length 2, we don't know. But we do know they will be the same amount, same size. Okay, so we are also talking about number of inches here. So let's look at this. We have part and a part. We need our other two parts to make our whole, which is 24 inches. So like we said in our previous video, I would take our widths, add them together. So 5 plus 5 is 10. And I want to subtract it from 24. I want to take away what we already have. That way I'm left over with our leftover, right? So you have 14 inches. Now this 14 inches does not mean each length is 14. Not quite. It means you have 14 inches to share between this length and this length. So if we're sharing something, we should be dividing. So we're going to take 14 and we are going to split it in half or divide by 2. So you can think of this as long division. You can think of it as 14 divided by 2 equals blank, or 2 times what gives you 14. Wherever you're at, you can do that. Miss LaFuente likes to think about it like this. The inverse of division is multiplication. So the inverse is the opposite. So 2 times 7, I know, is 14. So I'm going to include my 7 here. And then I'm going to make sure I check inches as well. I'm going to make sure I check to see if these 7s are correct. So if I add up all my sides, I should get 24. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and 7 plus 7 is 14. So let's check 10 plus 14. It is 24. So we checked ourselves. So that means that, yes, our length is 7 inches. So I could say 7 inches is our length. And it says, what is the area? So hopefully we know area by our lovely reference chart of a rectangle is length times width. And we can definitely separate this out so we have some room to see. So area, our length is 7, and our width, we're just plugging in. 7 times 5, our area is 35. Don't forget our inches. So it is inches squared. And remember, our area is the amount of space that can fit inside of our rectangle or square or whatever shape you have. Hopefully you can see that, guys. I apologize. My handwriting's a little messy towards the end of the day. But I hope you got all your answers for your scavenger hunt. If not, rewind. If you are staying tuned to our next lesson, which is over geometry, do so. Thanks, guys. Make sure to click the like button and subscribe down below. Have fun. Bye.